Hey, what's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas back with you on a Thursday. We are almost to the weekend, and a weekend that is going to bring us our best shot for widespread rain in a very long time. Now, we talked about this last night, and for the last couple of nights, I know we had some pretty decent rain across a good chunk of Central Florida, mainly Marion County, parts of Sumter County. But you will see as we break down the drought monitor that was just released today, hot off the press, that there is it didn't really do much, and in fact, the drought even got worse, where we did get several inches of rain. So if you're just joining us tonight, post in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you're watching on YouTube, what's up, guys? If you're tuning in on TikTok, I hope you're having a great night tonight. ClickOrlando.com. If you want to post in the comments on ClickOrlando.com, if you just received that push alert on your phone or on your other devices, if you tap that and you're seeing this live video, underneath that there's a comment box. If you're not an insider, you have to sign up to be an insider. It is free. You get entered into contests if you want and all that kind of fun stuff in addition to that. But you can always you can get into all that and have a lot of fun becoming an insider. All right, we're gonna get into the weather coming up shortly here. I'm gonna just pull up the comments so that we can see what is going on, see who's commenting tonight. Greetings, Eric. Good to see you again, my friend. Let me pull up. All right, got to get that cranking tonight. The generator of the comments over into parts of. Hey, Carol, what's going on? Good to see you on the live chat. Hope you are doing well. Let me know if you are hearing double. We had some issues last night. She just posted that she is hearing double. So if you guys do me a favor, we're trying some new things in the streaming room. So if you guys hear, if you're watching on the YouTube stream or Click Orlando stream, let me know if you are hearing double. Certainly, if you're watching on if you're watching on TikTok, do me a favor, post in the comments if you're hearing double. There's been some weird interference lately that we don't typically have. So trying to figure out what that's about and make this the best experience that you can get hanging out and chatting the weather. All right, so you came here to talk about the weather. We are going to do that. Here we go. This is the latest drought monitor. This was released early today. This comes out every Thursday. And by the way, we're taking a live look in Haw Creek, that is in Flagler County, and also Victoria Gardens below me in the Brady Bunch box. Both of these spots in Volusia County and in Flagler County are now considered to be in extreme drought status. So that is what we've gotten ourselves into. And there's a couple of things that I want to point out on this map, and we do this, and then there's a lot of colors on the map. But the main issue is this orange color, that's a severe drought, and then the red color, that is an extreme drought. And that red color expanded to include a lot more of Lake County this week, to include a lot more of Marion County. We added the extreme northwest sliver of Orange County closer to Zellwood, Tangerine. And then it also expanded to include more Volusia. And then it also expanded into Flagler County. So now we have an extreme drought. Not good news there. I think the craziest thing about this, and I was unsure what was going to happen in western Marion County when this drought monitor came out. We picked up anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain right around Ocala and then just to the west of I-75 in Marion County. That was from Sunday and then again on Monday. The crazy thing about it is we were in a moderate drought last week. Now we're in a severe drought. So even after getting several inches of rain in Marion County, we've expanded and worsened our drought. So it just goes to show the situation we've gotten ourselves into because of the lack of moisture, and that the ground is just going to suck this moisture up and all that stuff. Hey, Kara, thanks for sharing the live. If you are watching this feed on TikTok, please share it to all your friends out there if they're interested in the weather at all. If they're interested in the weather, we're going to stay informed about Central Florida weather. This is the place to be. So thanks for finding us on the TikTok live tonight. I appreciate you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on clickorlando.com and on YouTube. Okay, so that is, I guess, I got some good news and I got some bad news. We started off with the bad news first. Of course, we already know it. You don't need the monitor to tell us how dry it's been, but just wanted to share that update with you. Here's the good news. The precip outlook, the rainfall outlook, is a little green. It's been a long time since we've seen this, and really, we're going to start the rainfall train going this weekend. And then I think we're going to have the opportunity to even get more rain as the first week or so of May really rolls on. We'll show you future radar and stuff if you have plans for the weekend forecast or for the weekend. Um, but all in all, we are good. All right, on the YouTube side of things, Eric says things sound good today. That is not Eric's name. That is Haw Creek. That was weird. So Haw Creek, everybody in Haw Creek gets a shout out tonight. So hope everybody's doing well in Flagler County. Hey Jim Dexter, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Texas C Walker, thank you for joining on TikTok tonight. This is cool. Thanks for being here. We're just kind of shooting the breeze about the weather. We're going to go over the forecast and gear up for the 11 o'clock news on News 6 if you are watching from the greater Central Florida area as well. Just kind of putting this together tonight. If you don't stay up until 11 o'clock anymore, it's hard for me to do it, and that's my schedule. So I get the feeling. Before we go into some of the rain, I wanted to show you. I have the Keach Byram Index as well. This is the one, and for those that have been with us for the last several weeks, that we've been doing the 10 o'clock. Well, we've been doing this a lot longer in the last several weeks, but since the drought has been expanding, this has really been the main map that I've been showing, and the reason for that is it is issued every day, and these aren't just made up numbers. It has to deal with the amount of soil moisture and the amount of moisture in the ground and how far that moisture goes down. Essentially, how dry we are, the higher the number, the worse off we are when it comes to our drought. 500, for perspective, initiates burn bans across most of Central Florida. 600, we start to get into some big trouble. That's whenever wildfires really start becoming a little more common. Again, pending there's a spark, and we hope that's not going to be the case. But pending there's a spark, things can burn obviously very, very easily. So Lake County, we've been kind of the front runners, unfortunately. Now it's 611. So we were able to shave off 1 point from the rain on Monday on this index, but today we jumped another 4 points. Marion County, we went below 500 for a day, maybe 2 days. We lost 45 points. So we shaved off 45 points from this. We got into the mid 400s, and now we're back above 500 again, upper 400s, I guess. So even with all that rain, it's still super, super dry out there. Volusia, we are approaching that critical number. And again, we can reach that as early as tomorrow. On average, just to give you some perspective, this chart has gone up anywhere from 4 to 7 points. Sometimes it's been 8 or 9 when it's been really, really dry. We've had the wind out there to help dry things out even further. But anywhere I've from this last few weeks, this number has gone up anywhere from about 4 to 7 points. And if we do go the full 7 tomorrow, that'll get us right around 600 in Volusia tomorrow. And again, Orange and Seminole aren't that far off. We might have a pause, though, in these numbers just skyrocketing, and that is because of this cold front. Look at the thunderstorms, by the way, in Texas. All these big, bright red colors, those are really cold cloud tops from some pretty intense thunderstorms in Texas tonight. All these little tack marks, I'll zoom in a little closer. Those are lightning strikes. So San Antonio getting rocked tonight, Austin, Houston, just south of Dallas, and Fort Worth tonight. Big, big thunderstorms out ahead of the front that is going to help direct some of that moisture that you see over the Gulf and work its way back in. A ton of people joining on TikTok tonight. Thank you, guys. Baby Bear, Floyd, Hummock, Robert, Earl. Good to see you guys. Monica, welcome to the live stream. Post in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on clickorlando.com or on TikTok, where you're tuning in from. What's going on, Floyd? I hope everything's sounding okay. We're trying something new. So if the audio is terrible on TikTok, please let me know because we will correct it or we'll try to correct it. I'm no audio technician, but from my buddy Eric tells me things are doing okay on the YouTube side. So all that stuff. Okay, Floyd says echoes. We're going to try to figure that out. We're going to try to figure out the echo situation one of these times. This is the second time we're doing the TikTok live. We decided to venture over there as well. So welcome, and we'll try to get that. We will try to get that figured out. Cool. Thumbs up. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. All right. So let's see. Let me just check some of the audio real quick to make sure. Yeah, all my bars are muted over there, so it's kind of weird. All right. So anyway, those storms rolling in from Texas are going to continue to work their way across the North Gulf Coast. The front that you see up towards St. Louis, that is what is going to help to guide in some of that atmospheric moisture over the next couple of days, especially once we get into the weekend. So for that, we're going to go over the high resolution future radar. So here's the deal. That front doesn't really cross Central Florida. It's not going to get cooler behind it. There will be extra clouds beyond towards the end of the 7-day forecast. It's going to help to cool us down a little bit. None of that refreshing stuff that we had, a month or two ago. Here's the deal. We're going to fire up the sea breeze. That front to our north, though, is going to provide the moisture for the sea breeze to kind of play with a little bit and help to wring out some of the moisture that we've been lacking. So that is why I believe we are going to have some pretty rockin' thunderstorms. Maybe not so much on Saturday, but watch what happens as we get into Sunday, especially later in the day. We'll watch those storms try to erupt, and then we'll do the same thing again on Monday. You see that flare up of thunderstorms work from east to west. So we should have storms all over the place. Rain chances as a whole, once we get to Sunday, go up to about 60%. Now, this is some of the latest data coming in, the freshest data that we have coming in hot off the press. So I'm kind of seeing this in real time as I just loaded up the show here. I really think we have a widespread shot at a half inch to an inch. I think a lot of us are going to have the opportunity to maybe get 2 or 3 inches, very similar to what we had on Monday, where a few people get stuck under those slow moving thunderstorms and we can rack up 2, 3, 4 inches of rain in one time. Don't want it all at once, but that is certainly going to the going to be the case. Floyd on TikTok asks, "Will this happen around 3 p.m. in Orlando on Sunday afternoon?" That's about right. That's about the time. We'll go back to the future radar here, and we're going to take this forward again, and we'll look into the afternoon. So there's 2, there's 3, and this, because we're still so far out in time, the resolution on these models are pretty terrible. They're better than they obviously were, but it just kind of paints a lot of green. What we really can take away from this, though, is that these red arrows coming together, that's where we should fire up some thunderstorms. And then that's eventually, I think, going to push further inland. And that's kind of the same deal as we get into Monday early in the day. We're going to have that opportunity to get even more rain coming through. So that's the deal with that. I'll show you a quick glimpse of the 7-day forecast real quick. And then I'm going to try to work on these audio issues with my TikTok friend. So if you're watching on YouTube and want to probably watch some great content of me struggling with the audio is fine on YouTube from what I'm told, but there's an echo. And I don't like when there's an echo. So we're going to figure that out. So you can come over there and watch me struggle with the technology. But here's what I know a lot bit more of. It's the weather. 40% shot for storms on Saturday. That will ramp up to a 60% shot for storms on Sunday. We're going to keep rain chances elevated, as you saw, and then we'll keep that higher rain chance with us through Tuesday. So just for kind of housekeeping, the drought monitor will come out again next Thursday. It takes into account the rain Tuesday to Tuesday. So starting on a couple days ago through Tuesday. So all of that rain is in the window of when the next drought monitor comes out. I love that. Eric just said on YouTube, hold on, I gotta pull this comment over. We're gonna work at one technical. There we go. I will not be denied. I swear. There we go. He says we're resilient. We're going to get this. We're going to get this. Technology is not on my side. Hey, Brad, welcome on the TikTok. What's going on, Justin? And sorry again, guys, for the audio on the TikTok side. I swear we're gonna work on this and see what is going on. We're gonna figure that out. But there we go. And there's the relatively cooler day or days, 2 days. And then we get back up to around 90. And then we'll see if we can get some more rain in here beyond that. But that's the question. What are these rainy days, at least for some of us, going to do to the drought, both the KBDI, that Keach Byram Drought Index that I showed you, or the actual drought monitor that's released every Thursday? We should take some like over-under bets. Are we going to see the drought expand? Are we going to see it erode? Post in the comments what you think is going to happen on clickorlando.com, on TikTok, or on YouTube. Post in the comments what you think is going to happen with the drought monitor. I think if we get the rain along I-75, we might see it back off a little bit. But, man, it's going to take a long, long time. We need weeks of sustained rainfall, maybe even more than that, to get out of this. I mean, it's a rough drought. Worst one in Central Florida area in about 8 years. So all that stuff. Alrighty, guys. Floyd says it is much needed rain. I'm with you, buddy. I am with you. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in on clickorlando.com and on YouTube. If you want to see me struggle with the audio, slap it on over to TikTok and watch me struggle. Until then, I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes on News 6 at 11. Find us there. I'll be there with Matt Austin, Ginger Gadsden. We're going to talk about, obviously, the latest news. And then I'm going to be updating some of these maps that I just showed you. We're going to get some of the latest information in there. So look for that coming up, News 6 at 11. That is in what? 42 minutes. Another challenge. We'll see if I can stay awake. I did not have my 10 p.m. streaming coffee that I normally have. So we're just all kinds of out of sorts tonight. We'll see what happens. Thank you guys a ton for tuning in. I'm out tomorrow, so I won't be here for the 10 o'clock. I'll be back in this chair on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. But of course, I'll see you guys in 40 minutes on News 6. Keep it real.